Guys. So today we are definitely in a window of processing some very deep emotions that may have surfaced over this past 5 days when we had the North Node, the destiny, the future trajectory of humanity in a conjunction with the Black Moon, which rules our collective shadow side. We may have seen a lot of things that had been kept under the surface in terms of the way that our own mind is working. And moving through this week, there's definitely a sense that we are really dealing with processing some very deep emotions that have come up, and specifically in regards to what is truly in alignment with our heart. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. My name is Aubrey. Today is Thursday, September 9th, 2021, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. And we really don't have all that much going on today in terms of planets making aspects, but we do have our lovely moon, who is a very significant planet, the fastest moving of all the planets, rules our emotions, our feelings, what's really going on inside of us, making a conjunction to Venus today in Libra, a square to Pluto in Capricorn, and also a trine to Jupiter in Aquarius. So very active day internally and emotionally. And with the conjunction to Venus, this is definitely, like I said in the beginning, helping to bring us into an emotional alignment with what we truly hold inside of our heart, and also our self-love and our self-worth and our self-value, and what we need to feel peaceful and comfortable and enjoy the pleasures in life, really sort of highlighted in an emotional way today. And we're sort of striving for that peace, that balance, that love, in alignment with the true nature of our heart. And then we have the moon also making a square to Pluto, which is bringing up emotional complexes in regards to power dynamics and coming back into our own power and purging and purifying our emotions so that we can do that. And then we have the moon also making this trine to Jupiter today, which is a very beautiful aspect, especially when it will be in a conjunction to Venus. And Jupiter's retrograde, so this is actually really doing a lot to sort of expand our faith and our trust and our belief in ourselves and our ability to go through this process of realigning with the true nature of our heart and confronting and standing up to or standing down any type of power dynamics that are still remaining, that are keeping us out of that place, out of that emotional alignment, out of that true authenticity with how we're truly feeling in our heart, and the relationships and the partnerships and the experiences that we're having externally. Universe is trying to facilitate a situation for us right now so that our external environment is starting to come into alignment with our internal environment, and like I said, the true nature of what we hold inside and in our heart. And universe wants to create situations for us right now that are a better reflection of that externally. And considering all that we've had transpiring over this past week, we had a huge Mars-Neptune opposition. We had both Mars and Venus making aspect to Pluto. We had the new moon making an exact trine to Uranus. And then we had the Black Moon. I'm not sure if I said this or not already. I don't think so. But we had the Black Moon in a conjunction with the North Node for the new moon and for the past 5 days. And like I said in the beginning, this really may have been bringing us down into the depths of things and making us feel sort of heavy and oppressed and like caught in the dark, caught in the shadows. But it really was for the purpose of showing us those shadows, showing us how much power they really do have over us, and trying to lead us in a way so that we can really regain control over that force within us, over that power, and tap into it and use it to really create our lives going forward from a place of much greater self-mastery and authenticity and alignment. So that's really what we've been dealing with over the past week. And this week, the way the energetics have been playing out have really just been so much about processing what came up for us during that time. Today is very much an emotional processing period. That's how I'm reading it. Processing deep emotions in order to restore self-value, self-love, self-worth. The moon conjuncting Venus with an expanded faith and trust in ourselves. The moon making trine to Jupiter and helping us to stand in our power. The moon also making that square to Pluto. It's just representing this emotional purge, this emotional purification, this emotional regeneration that is actually bringing us back into our own power in alignment with our heart, in alignment with our true self-value, and we're feeling an expanded sense of self-confidence and faith in ourselves to be able to do this. So beautiful combination of aspects going on with the moon today. And again, the moon is in Libra, which is ruled by Venus, conjuncting Venus in her own sign of Libra. So this is very much about restoring peace and balance and harmony internally based on the true nature of our heart, and then extrapolated out into relationships and partnerships and our level of comfort and experience in the world, being realigned right now in a way that is more in alignment with our authentic truth. So that really is the big business that we have going on today. Just this moon making these moon in Libra, ruled by Venus, conjuncting Venus in Libra for tomorrow actually is her last day in Libra, and then she will be moving into Scorpio. So really an emphasis on these Venetian themes today, and then also the square to Pluto, the trine to Jupiter, really purging and clearing these issues that have been brought up to us, and in a very expanded way, so that we can get back to the original source of our power, which is our love, our self-worth, our self-value. Very emphasized by the aspects today that the moon is making. It's for the heart with Venus in Libra, with the moon in Libra, and it's an emotional alignment with the true nature of our heart that is really like kicking up these needs to purge and purify. But again, with Jupiter in trine, it's like we have an expanded sense of faith and confidence in ourselves to be able to do this now, to come back into our power in alignment with what is actually in our heart. We are coming to a point right now where it's just becoming less and less appealing to sort of like go with the flow of things to appease other people if it's not what's truly in alignment with our heart. That's really the name of the game today in terms of the energetics. There's also some other very interesting themes coming through today via the Sabian Symbols, and I still haven't written it up for my description box, so I'm just going to say it. The Sabian Symbols, for those of you who are new to my channel or who are unaware, are a group of symbols that represent each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac, and whenever a planet is at a specific point discharging a specific degree, we can look to the symbol, read the symbol, and it helps us understand why this aspect is taking place in the context of the cosmic blueprint that is perpetually unfolding. It just gives us more information, brings more clarity onto and for like what is the purpose behind these activations? What is the role that these transits are playing in the unfolding drama of our astrological saga? So I always look at the Sabian symbols, and today the sun is at 18 degrees of Virgo, and that Sabian symbol is two girls playing with an Ouija board. And the earth is at 18 degrees of Pisces. The earth and sun are always in a polar opposition to each other. And that degree 18 Pisces is in a gigantic tent. Villagers witness a spectacular performance. And so the way that I'm sort of reading this energetic in terms of, remember, I'm always reading the energies in terms of like the whole story, in terms of the overall context of what's going on. Because, you know, we can look at it and we can pull things out and see, you know, on a day by day basis, like I do, you know, what's playing out. But it really makes more sense if we look at it in the context of everything else that's been happening and that's been going on. So I don't ever really look at aspects in an isolated way, because there's a purpose behind them. There's a goal that universe is moving us towards. And, you know, I always read them in terms of the overall context of everything. And there's two specific ways that I'm reading this energy today, because it's talking about, the sun is talking about two girls playing with an Ouija board. And I see two very distinct polarities in the way that these energetics can be operating today. On one hand, it's like some people, and this has a lot to do generally something about a spiritual connection igniting some type of spectacular performance. The Ouija board, that obviously refers to being able to connect and interact with the spiritual planes, with the spiritual world, and to receive information and guidance and make a connection. And it's pretty self-explanatory. The Earth, 18 Pisces in a gigantic tent, villagers witness their spectacular performance, some type of grand show, spectacular performance. So the ways that I'm reading this today, again, in the context of the overall energetics, it's like, on one hand, one of the girls, it's like some people are waking up to a lot of spiritual truth, or via this spiritual connection that they've gained, or via these like epiphanies, or just this awakening generally that they've experienced, and it's causing them to act and behave and like perform in sort of shocking or spectacular ways. Like maybe some people are going through this massive awakening right now, and they're coming to all of these revelations and realizations and like all of these truths, and they're just seeing life from a totally different perspective all of a sudden. And maybe this is causing them to really be acting quite spectacular, or putting on some type of show or performance, or just acting very different to how they normally would have to the people in their family, their communities, their friends groups, whatever. And people are kind of like, whoa, like mystified, like sort of blown away. Like, that's a very spectacular transformation. Like, I've never heard you act like this before. Like, what happened? Like, sort of mystified by everything that's coming out of, your mouth in regards to this shift or this transition or this awakening that you're going through, and the impacts that that's having on how you're acting in the people in your life, around the people in your life. And then the other way I'm seeing this, especially considering that we have the North Node right now, who recently moved to 5 degrees of Gemini, and that Sabian symbol is a radical magazine or publication asking for action, displays a sensational front page. This is a lot like the In a Gigantic Tent, villagers witness a spectacular performance. And so I'm kind of seeing, on the other hand, that some people may be using a connection to spirit, or some type of occult knowledge or occult wisdom, or spiritual power or spiritual influence to sort of put on a spectacular show in order to distract people, or to consume people, or to get people looking in a certain direction. So we're in a world of mass polarities right now, especially with the black moon being in Gemini. It's just very apparent. It's almost like there's two groups of people that are living in two totally different dimensions based on their belief systems and their perceptions and their understandings of reality. It's like one group is sort of holding on to the way that things have been, to the remnants of the past age and the way that things operated and functioned then. And then there's this other group of people who are tuning more into the incoming paradigm, the incoming energies, the incoming truths, and the new laws of the new paradigm that's coming in, and sort of beginning to tap into that and be pulled more in that direction. So it's like there's one faction of people that is sort of trying to hold on to the remnants of the past energies of the previous paradigm, and then there's another group of people who are already resonating with the incoming frequencies of the new paradigm. And so it's creating this very big schism, this huge dichotomy, this huge polarity, and it's really being spoken about by the fact that we have black moon in Gemini right now, the sign of the twins, the sign of, duplicities and polarities. And there's just two very different worldviews and perspectives and philosophies right now based on where people are resonating energetically and vibrationally. They're either still resonating with the frequencies of the energy that we're coming out of, which is very understandable because that is what has been here for thousands of years, and well, at least the past 2,000 years. And then there's the people who are just organically more aligned with the incoming frequencies. And so it's like there's two ways that life and reality are really being perceived right now. And our thoughts create our reality. So it's almost like there's two groups of people creating two separate dimensions simultaneously in the same place. And that's sort of how I'm reading this two girls playing with the Ouija board energetic in the context of the gigantic tent and spectacular performance as well. It's like some people are tuning in to these very spiritual energies that are sort of infiltrating our paradigm right now, that are coming in from the new energies, the age of Aquarius that we are transitioning into. And it's like, because they're tapping into these frequencies and they're receiving these awakenings and they're receiving these new perspectives and these new truths and these new understandings and these new mindsets, and causing them to just display a radically different persona or a spectacular performance in terms of just the way that they're living life right now, in contrast to maybe how it had been in the past. And then simultaneously, there's people trying to use the old remnants of the occult knowledge, the occult wisdom from the past, and sort of project it in a way that distracts people from actually tapping into the new energies and the new frequencies that are coming. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this, and it's just interesting, you know, in the context of this very spiritual awakening energy, to have the North Node conjuncting the Black Moon while the new moon in Virgo is an exact trine to Uranus. That is like hardcore spiritual awakening energy. It's like being forced to confront your shadow so that you can move forward in life, the Black Moon and the North Node, and simultaneously entering a healing cycle that is just completely throwing things up in the air in order so that they can be put right in alignment with the new Aquarian frequencies and energies that are coming in. Remember, Uranus rules Aquarius, this age of Aquarius that we are transitioning into. So that is, I find that to be, you know, I could say I find that to be like, you know, interesting, a word that I always use, but it's also kind of to be expected at this point in time as well, that the spiritual energies, the occult wisdom, the invisible forces being utilized in two very different capacities right now for two very different purposes, but simultaneously playing out together. So we should be, you know, on the lookout today. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some type of spectacular performance that is being projected through the media and projected through the screens in order to, you know, gather people all around and focus on that, and really not be to be distracted from maybe the spiritual connection that we should be embracing at this point in time. But there's also, it's two girls. One of the girls is definitely receiving this spiritual connection, and it's awakening her, and she is putting on a spectacular performance in her own life through her personal existence and these transformations that she's going on. So interesting energy today for the first day following the separation of the Black Moon North Node yesterday. You guys might be feeling a little bit better today. I know I'm feeling much of a lighter vibration and frequency now that we have transitioned out of that 5-day aspect. But yeah, universe today is talking about how this spiritual energy, the spiritual connection, is being used in two separate ways through just the unfolding of things today. The last thing that I want to say today is in regards to both Venus and Mercury. And also, you know, this has to do with the moon. Venus and Mercury are both in Libra right now. The moon was with Mercury yesterday. The moon is moving away from Mercury today towards Venus later in the day. So with the moon in Libra and both Venus and Mercury in Libra, Mercury is also the ruler of this Virgo cycle right now, and Libra is in her, or Venus is in her home sign of Libra, and the moon is there today. So I want to talk about the Sabian symbols of these two planets as well, because they're describing a little bit also about what's going on. And we have Mercury today at, in the heat of noon, a man takes a siesta. And then we have Venus today at 29 degrees of Libra. Tomorrow will be her last day in Libra for the year. And this Sabian symbol is mankind's vast enduring effort for knowledge, transferable from generation to generation. So considering that we have the moon in Libra today, and we are just really in this process of this emotional purging and this emotional processing and realigning with our heart on an emotional level, and realigning with our self-love and our self-value and our self-worth, and with Jupiter and the trine, this expanded sense of faith and trust and belief in ourselves to be able to do this so we can come back into our own power. This, and Venus at this degree today, I feel like this is talking about breaking cycles. mankind's vast enduring effort for knowledge transferable from generation to generation. I feel like there is just a vibration associated with this symbol today, and the moon and the square to Pluto, the way that things are playing out. I feel like this is whatever transformations, whatever purging, whatever regeneration that we're going through right now in terms of our heart, it's really for the purpose of breaking cycles that may have been in place for generations. And as we are transitioning into this new energy and into this new paradigm, cycles from the past that were relevant in a different paradigm of energetics, a different just way of life and living, need to be broken so that we can move forward and embrace the new reality, embrace the new way that things are going to be operating going forward. And with Mercury at the degree, in the heat of noon, a man takes a siesta. We're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, you guys. Mentally overwhelmed as well. Mercury rules our mind and our thoughts and our communications. Overwhelmed with truth and wisdom that has been gained over this past week period, with all of this really big astrology going on, and especially this black moon north node. It's like we're just feeling very emotionally overstimulated by all of this, and just overwhelmed, mentally overwhelmed with the truth, the wisdom, and all of the stimulation that we've gained from these experiences that we've been going through. And we're emotionally processing, like I've been saying, but it's for the point of this expanded transformation and breaking these cycles. But we might just be feeling like mentally exhausted today. And it kind of makes sense because the mind isn't in it so much today. It's really more about our emotions and our feelings and what's going on inside of us and the nature of our heart and soul. And our mind, it's like our mind today just sort of wants to take a break from the knowledge that has been like passed down generationally. And again, to me, this is sort of indicating like a break in cycles, because it's like we don't want to keep perpetuating the same knowledge generation to generation. We want to take a nap, we want to take a break from that, we want to cut that off and rest for a little bit so that we can start a brand new cycle that doesn't carry over remnants from the past that may prohibit us from moving forward in a free and liberated way that is truly in alignment with our heart and soul. We don't want to be carrying past shadow, past baggage, past trauma, past subconscious programming into the new direction, the new path forward, because it needs to be a brand new fresh start with a brand new fresh perspective that is attracting brand new fresh experiences. It can't be hanging on to remnants from the past that are going to keep us in these perpetuating self-sabotaging cycles going forward, because that doesn't align or resonate with the direction that we're going, with the new energies that are coming in. So that's really how I'm reading this energy today, you guys. Sort of, especially with Mercury at the siesta degree, sort of a little bit of a down day, not too much big energetics going on. Really, it is just the moon, a busy moon day though, making all of these aspects, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto. But ultimately, we are just sort of kind of taking it easy today because there is so much very deep processing going on. And it is all for the point and purpose of realigning us, the moon conjunct Venus in Libra, realigning us with our true love, our true self-worth, our true value, our true self-love, and the authentic truth from which it stems. And universe really wants our, like I said in the beginning, our external relationships and partnerships, our external experiences and circumstances to be in alignment with what is truly going on inside of us. So that's what we have today, you guys. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can help you get through these energies. There's just a lot of emotional processing going on, but we are moving out of this black moon energy finally now, and everything is moving forward in the trajectory that is most in alignment with us. And this whole Virgo cycle may be quite shocking or surprising or tumultuous, but really it's for the purpose of doing what the energy is trying to do today and realigning us emotionally with what we truly hold inside of our heart. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really helps my channel grow when you guys do that, and I really truly appreciate it so much. Leave me comments, you guys. I love your comments. Any questions that you have about astrology, drop them into my comment section, and I'm going to be making a video very soon where I talk about, or where I answer you guys' astrology questions. If you want to contact me for any reason, you guys, you can email me at aubreystarssastrology@gmail.com, just the same way that it's spelled on my YouTube page. And I have a Facebook group and a Facebook page if you guys are interested in that as well. So again, thank you so much for watching. I wish everybody a very beautiful day of emotional processing. Don't push yourself too hard. If you're feeling a little laid back or like you just need to rest today, do it, because we do have an afternoon siesta highlighted in the energetics. So go for it if that's what you're feeling today. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys, and we will talk about everything that we have going on this weekend. I hope everyone has a beautiful day, and I will see you then. Bye!